Okay, scholars. So I wanted to let you all know that for this part, we're going to continuously be practicing what it's like for the NJSLA Part 1. So a few details you need to note is that Part 1 is 60 minutes total, right? And in um, Part 1 is two sections. Section 1, so Section 1 has about 15 to 17 type 1 problems, right? Which means worth 1 point each. Section 2 has about 4 to 6 problems, type 2, multiple response, and OERs, which is open-ended responses. That totals about 12, like about 8 to 12 points. So the reason why I want to stress that is because you have an hour to do both sections of part 1, right? So you have to divide your time, right? For section for part for section 1, you want to spend about 40 minutes, right? And section 2, you want to spend 20 minutes, right? But the most important thing is to note is that after you submit section 1 and go to section 2, you cannot go back. Okay. So in this practicing, what I'm going to model for you all is how I would time myself for it. So this video is going to be maybe 35 minutes. Because it's not as many problems, I'm going to pace myself accordingly to make sure I'm doing it. So I want to make sure I'm using my process of elimination, strategies, and I'm also going to model on a scrap paper. So you'll see like how I do it on a scrap paper and how I do it on here. All right. So maybe at the end, you can write down some things you've noticed and some practicing. Okay. I'm very excited about this. So we're about to get started. All right. So I have my timer. I'm going to give myself 25 minutes for section 1, and I'm going to give myself 15 minutes for section 2. Here you can see how I'm using my timer, how I'm pacing myself, and all of those things. So let's begin. Okay. So the first thing I want to do within the first minute is I'm going to set up my scrap paper with my name and the date. Okay. Then I want to separate my scrap paper. But first I need to see how many problems I have. So it's 1, 2, 8, 9, 12. So I have 16 problems. So I want to do 8 on both sides. That means I need to do 4 lines. On the front. Four lines on the back. And I want to number my problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then for 1 minute, what I want to do is I want to look at my problem to see like which ones can I answer in like 1 minute. Well, this just says length, width, and height, so I can do that in 1 minute. This action problem 2 is talking about like cubes and stuff, so that may take a little bit more time than 1 minute, so I'm gonna move on to that. I know rectangle is talking about area, so that could do that quickly. A prism. Division takes a little bit more. Multiplication takes a little bit longer. Okay, I think I can do number 10. I know this one. I know 12. Oh, this is part 2, so I'm not doing that. So just like 1 through 12. Okay. So I know that I can answer 1, 4. I could do 5. 1, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, and 12. So then I'm gonna come to my scrap paper. 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, 10, 12. 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, and 12. All right. So hopefully I have enough space for all of this. So what my goal is in all of this is to read as if this is the computer, solve on my scrap paper. So problem 1 says, what is the volume? So I know I'm solving for volume. A prism, and the length is 4, width is 3, height is 2.5, and I won't be able to have a calculator for this. So I know the formula is volume equals length times width times height. So I'm doing 4 times 3 times 2.5, or 2 and 1/2. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 2 and 1/2. I can convert that into an improper fraction. So that's about 4. Let's multiply that, add that. So that's 5/2. So 12 over 1 times 5/2. 12 times 5 is 60. 60 over 2 is 30. A, B, C, D. The answer is B. So I'm going to select B. Now I'm going to number 4. 4 says length, a rectangle. I'm talking about a rectangle and it has a length and width, and I'm asking for area. So I know area equals length times width, and I know the length is 6 and the width is 3, and 6 times 3 is 18. So the answer is C, and it's 18 inches squared. So then I'm going to problem 5. Rectangle has an area of 56 um meters squared, and the length, I'm finding the width. So area equals length times width. I have the area. The area is 56 equals 7 times width. I don't have the width, so that's a coefficient, 7W. 56 equals 7W. I can use the inverse operation, which I can divide by 7. So it's 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. So width equals 8. So, and we're talking about meters, so 8 meters, and it's not squared, so it's just 8 meters. Okay, so I did that. And then problem 8 says, and here's a timer right here, so you can still see the time. I'm also looking at the time. Problem 8 says a box has dimensions of 3 times 2 times 1, and it's still 1/2 inch cubes. Okay, so there's two things. Volume equals length times width times height. The volume is 8 by 2 by 1, and then 1/2 inch side, which means that I need to do that cubed, which is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/8. Then I need to find the volume of the full thing. So that's 8 times 2 is 16 times 1 equals 16. So I'm finding out, so this is the volume of the total one, and I'm figuring out how many cubes fill. So I need to divide 16 over 1 divided by 1/8. Since I cannot divide across, I need to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 16 over 1 times 8 over 1. And I just need to multiply 16 times 8. That's 40. 48. 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I want to double check it because everybody math be off sometimes. 48, 128. So it's 128 cubes. Oh, I said, oh, 3 times 2 times 1. Oh, 3 times 2 times 1. Mistakes happen, 3, 6. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to this. So now I wanna go to the rest of the problems. Problem 2, I know I have 17 minutes. I answered a good bit of it, but I didn't answer all of them. So I wanna make sure I'm doing it. So prism is 2 long, 1 wide, 1 tall, filled with 1-inch cubes. So volume is length times width times height. 2 times 1 times 1. Volume equals 2, but it's 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch cubes. So that means just because the cube is 1/2 inches, it didn't say 1/2 inches. Oh, it said 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch cubes. It didn't say side length, so no side length. So I need to divide 2 over 1 divided by 1/2. And 2 over 1, I can't divide across. So times 2 over 1, which is 4 over 1 equals 4. So 4 cubes. Um, 4 cubes. Then problem 3 says a prism has a length of 5, length of 5, width of 4, volume of 100. I know volume equals length times width times height. Those 100 equals 5 times 4 times height. 5 times 4 is 20. Height, 100 divided by 20. Height equals 20 goes into 100 5 times. So 3 is 5, 4 cubes. I did 4. Going to 5 now. Did 5, going to 6. Woo! 84, 6, sorry, 84,625 divided by 25. 25 goes into this 3 times at 75. That's a 7. 5 goes into 14. 5 plus 5 is 10. I believe it's 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 9. Bring down the shade is 6. 25 goes into 96 3 times at 75. That's a 1. That's a 21. Every time you subtract, you pull down the shade. 25 goes into 208 times because 25 goes into 104 times. 8, that's 200. That's a 125. 25 goes into 125 5 times. So my answer is 3,385. I have 13 minutes left. You see that I'm still looking at the timer. Hopefully I can get it. 7 says 23.5 times 127. Let me look at it again. 23.5 times 127. That's 23 or 235 tens times 127. Which means I just need to move that back a power one time. So now I'm multiplying 235 times 127. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 3, 21, 22, 24. 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16. Did that one. 2 times 5 is 15, carry the 1, bring down to 5. 2 times, no, 10, carry the 1, bring down to 0. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, did that one. 1 times 5, well, 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. I want to line these up so that I make sure I add it correctly. So that's 5. That's, oh, bring this 10 down. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 1 is 14, plus 5 is 19. 1, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's a 2 and it's a 10. So it's 2,994 and 5. 2994.5. I'm still looking at the time. I have 12 minutes left. Woo, this is quite a task, but I could do it. I'm constantly telling myself that I can do it. Then I'm going to problem 8. I can go back to problem 8. I did something wrong. I did this wrong because I said it was 3 is 16, so that was wrong. 3 times 2 is 6, so it's actually 6, not 16. This is correct. That's 6 over 1. 6 times 8 is 48. It's 48 divided by 1 is 48. Yep. P is 48, and 48 is the answer choice. So you see how like I chose it and I went back and it's okay. I have 11 minutes left. Number 9. This will be the computer. So like that's saving me a little extra time because I'm looking at the computer. But do you see that I even need to make sure I use my scrap paper? Number 9, a prism has a volume of 50, base, which is length times width, and what is the height? Okay, so volume equals base times height, because that's also length times width. That's the 2 dimensions. So 50 equals the base. What did I say the base was? I'm on 9. The base is 12.5. 12.5 times height. Okay. Since this is a decimal, I can go ahead and just convert this into a fraction, which is 12 and 1/2. Height equals 50. And since this is written as an improper fraction, 12 times 2 is 24, plus 1 is 25 over 2. So 25 over 2, 50 over 1 divided by 25 over 2. Since I cannot do that, I'm going to do 50 over 1 times 2 over 25. 50 divided by 2 is 25. 25 divided by 25 equals 1. Something's off. I'm going to have to come back to that. And okay. So 10, which expression has a rectangle with sides? I know it's a rectangle is area equals length times width. A is adding, so that's wrong. You see how A is adding? B is multiplying, so that could be correct. C is dividing. D is subtracting. So answer is B. A rectangular prism. Oh, looking at the time, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. 11. A rectangular prism has a base which is length times width uh, of 6 and a height of 3. What is volume? Volume equals base times height. So it's 6 times 3, which is 18. And then units cubed, so inches cubed. 18 inches cubed. By the way, I have not solved these problems yet. So this is also a good way for you to see like teachers have their struggles too, and teachers got to work through it just like you have. I have 7 minutes and 53 seconds. I know I spent 1 minute on that. A rectangle is an area of 64 inches squared. I know area equals length times width. So area equals length times width. What else do we know? The width is 8. So 64 equals length times 8, or 8L equals 64. I know 64 divided by 8 equals 8. So the length is 8. So my answer is C. Oh, well, I still have some time left. Now I'm gonna go back to what else? What did I say? Something was off. So I'm gonna go back to my scrap paper because I put oh, 9. Something was off with 9. So it said 9 had a volume of 50. Volume equals length times width times height. Volume of 50. The length and the width, which is the base, is 12.5 times height. Oh no, I did something wrong there. 12.5 equals 12 and 1/2 times height equals 50. I have to divide 50 over 1 divided by 12 times 2 is 24, 25 halves. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Got it. You see why? So it's 50 over 1 times 2 25ths, which is 50 times 2 is 100 divided by 25 equals 4. So it's actually 4, number 9, and 4 centimeters. Done. Woo! That was crazy. Now to have extra 5 minutes, I want to add that 5 minutes to my open-ended. So 5 minutes left. I want to notate that. And then I want to go to part 2, which I said I was going to give myself 15 minutes on. For part 2 has questions 13 through 16. So I'm going to give myself, so I have 15 minutes. Well, 14 minutes now because I'm wasting time. I have 14 minutes. All right, let's get to work. I'm on number 13, which is an open-ended response. So I have to be very clear about this. A rectangular prism has a length of 6, width of 4, height of 2.5. Find one, it says volume, and show work. And then part B says if volume is doubled, what is height? So how I like to look at when it's talking about height, I know that, like, for example, like the volume of this is 2, right? But if this doubled, then if whatever height this is, that has the height times 2, right? So let's go. Volume equals 6 times 4 times 2.5, which is 6 over 1 times 4 over 1 times 2 1/2, which is 2 times 2 is 4, which is 5/2. So 6 times 4, 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 times 5. So it's 120 over 2 equals 60. So the volume is 60. So then I'm gonna go here and say the volume is 60 inches cubed because units matter. And it says if the volume were doubled, what would the new height be? If you look at this, right, let's say we have a rectangle, this base and this height could stay the same, right? And so for example, let's say that this is 5, but if the height was 5, 6 times 4, which is 24, because this is double, that's times 2, which is 120. So if the height is double, the length and the width can stay the same. The height can just be doubled. So the height would have to be 5. Five inches, which means just if the volume doubled, only the height doubled. So 5 inches. Good, good. I feel confident about that. Ooh, select all, which means there are more than one answer. 14. So I'm gonna put my answer choices. I have 11 minutes left. E. So 8 by 8, 16 by 4, 4 by 16, 2 by 34, 32 by 2. And what is it asking? So the area equals 64. All answers. Woo! So 8 times 8 equals 64. So that's right. 16 times 4. So that's 64. So A and B are correct. C, 4 times 16 based on commutative property. 16 times 4 is 4 times 16. B, 2 times 34. 8, that's automatically wrong because it's 64 and has 8. 32 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. So A, B, C, and E. Nine minutes left. As you can see here, a rectangular prism has a volume 90 centimeters. Base, and we know base is length times width. Base equals 15. Find height. Okay, so volume equals length times width or base times height. The volume is 90. The base is 15. The height is unknown. That's any coefficient. I could divide 90 by 15. I know 15 goes into 32 times, and 30 goes into 93 times, and 2 times 3 is 6. So 6 equals height. And I could double check that by doing 15 times 6. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 90. And I was able to check my work. And now 16. Woo! Box has a volume. I know we're talking about volume. 3 cubic units. Okay. Filled with 1/4 inch cubes. The difference between this and like 1/4 side length is a big difference because this says 1/4 inch cubes, which means the volume is 1/4 inches cubed. Do you understand? If it said fill with 1/4 side length, that's a difference. You have to know the difference. It's very important. So volume equals length times width times height. We know the volume is 3/1, and we got to figure out how many groups of this 1/4, because how many cubes, right? Divided by 1/4, and you can't divide, so you can't divide across. So 3/1 times 4/1, which is 12/1, which is 12. So 12 cubes can fill the box. And I'm done. Woo! That was interesting. I'm glad I was able to model this for you so that you all need to see like how fast you need to be thinking because you know the information. Like I know the information and I know I taught the information to you. So I know you know the information, but I wanted you to see like my thought process on like maybe I wasn't finished, right? And what did I do? Now for these last 6 minutes, I'm gonna make sure I answered every problem. Yes, 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 and yes. And I can, I, I'm assuming my answer is the answer key, so I won't be able to check it. But let's just check my answers with the calculator to make sure I'm correct. The number 1, 4 times 3 times 2.5 equals 30. So I got that correct. 2, which is 2 times 1 times 1, which is 2. So I'm dividing by 2, 2 divided by 0.5. which is 4. Got that correct. Prism, prism is the length of 5 and the width. The volume is 100. So 5 times 4 is 20. So 100 divided by 20 is 5. That is correct. Rectangle has a length. I know we're talking about area. 6 times 3 is 18. Got that correct. Because this is no calculator, but I just wanted to show you area 56. So 7 divided by 50, well, 56 divided by 7, which is 8. Got that correct. Ooh, this is the part that I'll be struggling on. 84,625 divided by 25. 3385. Got that correct. Let's go. Ooh, this is another one. I be getting stressed off. 23.5 times 127. 2984.5. God, I got that wrong. The answer 2984. And this is good practice because this lets me know, like, if I have extra time, I'm gonna go back to this and I'm gonna do this again because I don't got time, right? So I know I got one wrong. Whoopee. Prism is, the volume is 50, the base is 12.5, so 12.5, well, 50 divided by 50 divided by 12.5 is 4. Got that right. 5 times 8 is area, and that's the only thing I can use. I know that's right. The base is 6, the height is 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Got that right. The length is 8. Oh, 64 divided by 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Got that right. That's right, and that's right. So, this is on me, right? Yes, I'm sad I didn't get a perfect score, but I got everything right. So I got advanced mastery. I got 16 out of 17 points. And I'm happy because that lets me know that I'm in the 90th percentile of New Jersey for part 1, right? Okay, I'm gonna send this answer key to your parents so that you can score yourself, well, which you already probably did. And if you didn't do well, you can look at this video to see how I was able to use my scrap paper to solve my work, right? It wasn't perfect, right? But I used strategies here and there. Most importantly, what I want y'all to just know, I want y'all to know that, like, this is a process and this is a daily process and it's all good. All right. All right. That's all I have for y'all. See you later.